Hello and welcome back to Tiresome. My name's Mike and this is what's left of my scimitar. Obviously, you guys know this. If you don't, then I've had this car for almost 10 years. Finally got round to putting the steering rack on, new wheels, suspension, coilovers, the whole bloody shebang. And the best part of this car has been the engine. Never really failed to fail, pulls like a train, and especially with the new exhaust, you know, the cherry bombs on the back that we did last year. Fucking sounds so good. But now it's terminal, and it's really, I'm being serious, it's really bad. So let me talk you through it. So 2 weeks ago, okay, the car overheated. It got up to temperature and then shot up to around 140, 120 quite quickly. And that was abnormal. So I realised that what had happened is the electronic fan hadn't kicked in, and that's because there wasn't enough coolant to activate the auto switch, and that meant that a quick little top up of coolant and we were back on and it was fine. Then, after that, maybe a week or so, I get a call from Matt Tomlinson. Hi Matt, hope you're watching, and thank you for the call. Matt invites me to the super secret, sort of invite-only Cars and Coffee event. They're reopening a thing. I'm hoping to get a video on it, and he said, we love your scimitar, and we want it at this event. So, I thought, that's amazing, thanks so much. I'm like quite honoured to have someone actually appreciate my shit scimitar. And then literally the day afterwards, I was driving along, it had a misfire at low revs and it had white smoke pouring out the back, proper James Bond effect. Then the day after that, it still had that issue. I thought maybe it might clear it or whatever, you know what these things are like. And basically, I went through the ignition system to see if I could make sure that it wasn't just like an ignition issue, misfiring at low revs, and the smoke was unburnt fuel maybe, and I'm misdiagnosing it as like steam when it could be smoke. So I tried doing that, and I took one of the HT leads off, and the car was idling, and it didn't change. It sounded the same. I was like, really? Did I just manage to get the misfiring cylinder right away, or is something else wrong? I don't know. And I put the lead down, and it just shut off quite quickly. I was going to walk around just so I could give the throttle just a little blip. Just, you know, sometimes when you've got a misfire, you just need to give it just to ease on the throttle a little bit, just to hear the engine move up and down and rev, so you can try and diagnose what's going on. And before I could even get around to the throttle pedal, it cut. And I mean cut. It didn't stall, it didn't stutter, it didn't do anything like that. It just went bang, stopped. So then the car wouldn't start. The engine still turns, by the way. Some of you probably think that the engine seized already, but it didn't seize. The engine was turning over and it just wouldn't fire. I did a bit more diagnosis, no luck, and I was stuck at work now with a broken car, so I had to walk home. Came back the next day with tools and some spare parts, and indeed found out what had happened is the coil had gone. So I'm guessing somehow when I put something down, it must have arced back at the coil and popped the coil. But either way, I managed to get that fixed. I can show you my bodge job in a minute. It's pretty specialist. On the way home from that day of work, the car got up to 90 degrees again, where it should be, and then went nuclear again. And I very quickly pulled over, and luckily I still had some water in the back, so I topped it up and everything, and I sat there and got up to temperature to wait for that fan to kick in and for the system to work correctly. And actually what happened is it started puking its guts out. Because what we have, everyone, is a blown head gasket. And actually, we've got two blown head gaskets, and I'll show you that. But obviously what's happened is we had some coolant leaking into the combustion chamber, which is why I was losing coolant. And now it's got so bad we had the James Bond effect and a misfire. And now it's so bad it's actually putting that compression through the cooling system as well as the other way around too. So it's now really quite undrivable. I mean, I can move it around, I can roll it around, but the thing is, the worse that exhaust leak gets, or the exhaust leak head gasket leak gets, the more coolant is going to go into the actual combustion chamber, you know, with the piston and everything. And I'm sure you all know you don't want to try and compress water, because that's when you get bent rods and things like this, and I don't want to be doing that. If it's that bad, we're getting a Hemi. Right, let me first of all, I'll start it up. I had to start and stop it a couple of times. Oh, and I must say, actually, I on my way home, that second time when I got it running and it went nuclear, I had to pull over and top it over with water. And I found out it was putting compression through the cooling system. I had to pull over again because it was rush hour, it was terrible, traffic was the worst I've ever seen, and basically I pulled over, paid for parking, and Tim, not that Tim, the other Tim, Tall Tim, gave me a lift home at like 10 o'clock at night, and it was pretty clutch. So thank you very much, Tim, for helping me out there. Yeah, let's see. Because I had to start it quite a lot, and you know, diagnosis and everything, the battery is most likely dead. But I do have a jump pack if we need it. This is where it hydrolocks, isn't it? Hear the misfire. It doesn't actually look that bad at the moment. It looks actually pretty okay. But trust me, when the exhaust warms up, that's when it starts burning it all off. And of course you can hear that misfire, and that is not caused by ignition. That's caused by a fouled plug because of coolant or something, I guess. The question is, like, I'm in my mid-30s now, right? This car doesn't have an interior. The head gasket's gone. These parts I can still sell for some money to people in the car club and things like that. People love the way the car looks, and with this setup, I could sell that as a setup to people in the car club. That would be absolutely fine. But it's got damage on the fiberglass. The outriggers are gone, need doing. Is it now the time to get out of it, is the question. Should I be getting myself something, I don't know, with a heater? Something with a heater would be good, right? I don't know, there's loads of options. What are you doing?
Show some of the heater. Any other vehicle in this car park.
Well, yeah.
Oh, except the Supra.
You fucking bastard. So yeah, what do I do? I don't know. I'll show you my ignition fix. So one of the components I bought with me when I did my diagnosis that day was a spare coil. And there it is. Obviously, when I was at the office at work, my tools were limited, so I just used a bulldog clip. You can see though, I did wrap PVC tape around it to make sure it was nice and safe. And I just wedged it in next to the other one. And it did the job. Look at it, it's running. So, as you can see there, I don't know if you can actually, I don't know how obvious it is. But, I mean, to be fair, the car is still cold, and you would expect some steam to come out, you know, condensation and stuff, when the car's warming up. But trust me, it goes full James Bond effect. I had to leave the cap off the expansion tank to release the pressure. Or else it would, you know, pop a hose or something like that. But yeah, guys, tell me, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think, guys? Because this car, obviously I'm never getting the money back I put into this, but at this point, something is telling me, grow up. And something else is telling me, I've had this car for almost 10 years, it's a part of me, it's almost a member of the family, so do I try and fix it, you know? I don't know. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. But this could be the end. Could be the end. Even the doors are fucked.